Hello, hello, team. Welcome to the Trading Trail. This is the series where I go ahead and recap every single trade that I take during the year of 2025. Today, we are on the 16th day of the stock market being open this year, and we have another Fed week on our hands. And I definitely did not approach today with the proper headspace. Now, going off of Friday, last Friday, January 24th, was some very, very hot action. So I was thinking, I'm going to go in swinging with some larger size, and I most definitely got punished for it today. So I ended up trading four different stocks with some with not the best execution on any of them. Then we also had four red trades on all four of those different stocks. So quite unfortunate day. I'm sitting the day negative $800. I'm very upset with my performance, but this is just an exercise in hubris. That I definitely needed to go through a day like this because I was going off of a very solid week where I was making a lot of call outs, but I was kind of upset with myself that I wasn't walking away more green. So I was like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. This is what I was thinking. This is what was going through my head. I know what I'm doing. I'm landing the good trades. I'm able to see the larger picture. So why don't I start aiming for the fences? And that was the mentality that I went in with today, this morning, and I most definitely got humbled for it. So let's get right into it on some of the trades that I decided to end up taking today. There were really only three different tickers that I had my eye on at pre-market, and there were really only one opportunity to walk away green this morning on pre-market trading. I definitely did not stay as patient as I should have been, but let's get right into it. Um, MLGO, this was probably the trade of the day. And unfortunately, I was up $300 on this one, and then I threw it all away. I mean, kind of upset with myself. So let's get right into it. So this one right here, we're going to go ahead and highlight some of our upper resistances right here. I had my eye on all of these different key break levels. And most importantly, this was also lining up very nicely for a 2.09 break. So I actually end up getting in right around here because I wanted it to kind of make a series of higher lows above this area, above this red candle, and that's exactly what happens down here. And right when I see that we're starting to break this high, I was like, you know what? This might be a good opportunity for me to start a position down here. And then I'm starting to scale out on that next green candle, 5% into profits. And then I scale out very quickly up here, very, very quickly. I think if I kind of stuck to my plan of just really taking 50% off the table and then scaling out respectively into the next known resistance, I knew that if we get above 225, we would show room to either 265 or find some resistance right up here. And that's exactly what happened. So I think taking some profit off the table as price is extending for that 10 EMA on the one would have been a little bit better of an execution on this one. But regardless, this first initial trade was a very nice trade. I ended up getting in at 209 on MLGO for that break through 209 and a move past these previous highs. Now, unfortunately, I end up getting a little bit too crazy on the day. And as price is trying to get a move higher through 281, I actually get back in for the break of 265. And I was thinking that if price was going to be able to take out that area, especially after holding the 25 on the one very well, if I get back in right here, this would be plenty of room for me to kind of take some profit off the table. Unfortunately, I never take any profit off the table, and I'm closing my position right down here. I was kind of thinking that these 8 a.m. glitch candles would give an opportunity for price to kind of rebound a little bit more. Yeah, very unfortunate. If I just again stuck to my rules, like this is why it's so important to follow your rules. Like I have rules of taking some profit off the table. Like this was on paper a winning trade that I lost money on because if I'm getting in for that 265 and then price moves up 5% from that area, that should be a winning trade. And I just wasn't quick enough to actually escape with profits on this one. And then on the retest of getting back into profits after it holds a 10 on the 1, again, I still don't take profits off the table because I'm just like, you know what, let's hold for that larger move. That is an act of hubris if I've ever seen it. Um, Now, at the same time, I did make a trade before MLGO, and so I was my first trade of the day put me red on the day. And I'm starting to notice where I start to spiral when my first trade of the day is red. And this is a good example, where I kind of mess up some of my execution right here on that first execution on MLGO. And then I'm like, you know what? That was such a great trade. If I get back in, I'm going to hold until I'm back green on the day. That's trying to force trades if I've ever seen it. So the game plan for tomorrow right away is every single trade I take, I have to follow every single one of my rules. I just have to. I mean, the fact that I keep doing silly stuff like this is the reason I'm red on the day. Now, looking back on it, with the action that we had and some of the position sizing that I was that I was brave enough to even take, um, I, I'm I'm kind of happy that I'm not more red, and which is crazy to say because I'm red $800. But in reality, with me taking such massive, massive position sizes, like I was going up well above 10% of my account on a single trade sometimes, which I'm not proud of, but you know, eh, on a trade like MLGO right here, I think there was, as long as I'm safe enough with my entry and pyramid into it, uh, I, I think there's an argument that I can still do it. What I shouldn't be doing is going in with that large position sizing when there's not enough breathing room in the trade to do so. There's not enough breathing room to go in with that large of a position. I'm okay adding to winners as long as they're actually winners. So, like this right here, I shouldn't have done this. I should not have done this whatsoever. Now, I am kind of happy with myself that, you know what? I did keep it tight enough. I could have certainly kept it tighter with the position sizing that I was in. But percentage wise, I don't think that's it. I don't think it was the worst decision I made today. Now, back on this one, this is ONCO that we were looking at. I originally had a downtrend drawn like this. Not the best or most accurate downtrend right there, but this is kind of what I was looking at on ONCO at this point in the morning. Now, my thought process was price was going to get above, then hold above, and then we were going to start testing some of these areas, start making our way back up to that psychological 1 area. Unfortunately, none of that ever happens. Now, if I'm playing so aggressively trying to preload shares, I need to be willing to cut those quicker. And one of the reasons why I wasn't willing to cut this one quicker was because I was emotionally trading with larger size. I'm okay taking that larger size and that larger risk if there's enough breathing room in the trade to do so. This, hindsight 2020, is not enough breathing room to take a larger position size. It's not, by any means. If I'm wanting to take a larger position, I have to make sure that there's enough breathing room in the trade to do so. So when price is moving sideways, consolidating, maybe the 10.5 would catch up, I would add right here. If price would then get another move up, break and hold of 1, maybe I can add again right here. But again, there's opportunities to take profit off the table and take a little bit risk off the table with me. And then adding back to a full position, playing with that larger size again, is completely reasonable in a situation like that. This is not a reasonable situation by any means. Me thinking, okay, well, it's going to break that downtrend on the second time because we just got the test of the 10.5. No, I need to be more patient and look for the break and hold of the downtrend. Today was a very difficult day, especially because if you're preloading like me, you're gonna get cut really hard. Now, I need to be even more willing to cut those preloads even quicker. Because this is, again, I'm trading in cash account, so the emotions really get in my head of I'm in a cash account. If I If I get out, get in, and then immediately get back out, I've just wasted all those settled funds. So I need to be really particular about the setup. Like even in the moment, I was like, you know what, this is probably like a C tier setup. If we get an 87 break right here, like this doesn't look the best. Even looking at it now, I know it doesn't look the best by any means. So it's like, if I know this in the moment, then why am I putting that much risk on the table? You know, if there's going to be an opportunity to size in, then I will size in. This is not an opportunity to size in by any means. So definitely a really good learning opportunity for me on ONCO, MLGO. I'm really upset that one of the other reasons why I was willing to hold the second time playing MLGO for so long was because I was already sitting up green on this ticker. So I was like, you know what? Even if I give away some of that green, so be it. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. Normally, I wouldn't do that. That's the thing. But I was like, if the again, this is just holding and hoping. This is just a big exercise in hubris, kind of what I'm going through here. But my thought process was, nothing else is kind of setting up favorably right here. So MLGO is probably the only one to watch, and that's not necessarily the case. I should have kept this one much tighter. I mean, this is the reason that I'm massive red on the day. It really is. But again, there will be another trade, which is perfectly fine. And then TVGN, again, I'm taking way too big position sizing with one buy-in, which does like I don't know. I don't know why I would ever do this. I really don't. And like if I'm getting in on this downtrend here, I need to be cutting at the fail of that downtrend. Like that is the rule, and I didn't follow it. I didn't follow it because I was thinking, you know what, price did extend from the EMAs, so of course it's going to pull back, and then on the support test of the EMAs, like maybe we can get a rally a little bit higher. Not at all, not at all what happens. And this is just a very good example of what can happen. Just because we label these as support does not mean that they're going to hold as support by any means. And then also TVGN, like looking at that 5-minute chart, like I was really hoping this 5-minute candle would close. That's why it closed a little bit higher. That's why I waited a little bit longer after the 50 on the one failed. Hmm. Again, this is kind of what I get for putting such an emphasis on giving extra breathing room to trades. Because if you guys remember from the recap from the Trading Trail 15, I was very upset with myself because I didn't give one trade about 2 extra cents of breathing room. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let this one get a little bit more breathing room. Hopefully, it's going to hold at that longer term, a more conservative downtrend. And price did not hold at that more conservative downtrend. And I absolutely got wrecked on it. Absolutely got wrecked on it. So quite unfortunate day for me, ending the day $800 in the red. Now, let's go ahead and kind of come up with a thought process that I need to follow into tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, again, this is a Fed week, so we have to be very cautious with our money. But I think the number one thing that I'm going to try and go into the next trading day with is make every trade count. Now, this is probably like very obvious, but it's just a really good reminder for me of like, you know what? These settled funds are precious. Let's not waste all of them on one trade. That's as simple as it gets. Size down and follow some rules. You know, like like at this point last year, I was able to pump out some really amazing like $1,000 days and stuff like that, and I haven't. It's been a long time since had another $1,000 day. So I was like, you know what? Again, going into this morning, I'm like, all right. When I see a good opportunity, I'm gonna double down and swing hard when I see that opportunity. That's not necessary. I don't need to do that. This is all about consistency. Again, let's go back to our checklist. I mean, this is just a good reminder for me. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I treated yesterday like a huge marathon. I mean, the position sizing that I was taking, now percentage wise, I was able to keep everything tight in relation to the position sizing that I was taking. It's not that big of a dent in my overall account. Now, again, it's $800 in the red. I'm still upset about it. I will always be upset about losing $800. But let's not get too lost in the emotions of just having one red day. Let's go into tomorrow and follow all of our rules. I will get I will be more proud of myself tomorrow by following every single one of these rules rather than just breaking one of my rules and having a massive green day. Honestly, if that happens, I should slap myself tomorrow. Yes, that's it. Probably not the best solution there, but again, this is the pressure that I need to be putting on myself of, you know what? Following your rules in this game is going to be more important than having a green day. If I have a red day, but I follow every single one of my rules here, that's a successful day. That's a very successful day. Now, the one rule that I ended up breaking today, let's go through them. Breakout, closest support, how far risk, what's the setup, charted up, charted everything up. I think I understood all of the trades that I was making. Maybe I was a little bit too early on them. Now, the breakout, closest support, how far risk. No, I'm pretty confident I followed all of those, all that today. Don't trade in the middle of the road. Again, that's a friendly reminder not to hold too long sometimes. I, I I don't think I held too long. There was TVGN. I most definitely held a little bit too long now that I think about it. Yeah. But again, based on where that 5 minute candle was possibly going to close, like, there's still an argument. But yeah, so don't trade in the middle of the road. I was definitely trading in the middle of the road, of holding from the top of the range almost to the bottom of the range. Now, in all of these situations, I never actually held until the bottom of the range. I did actually like cut through one of the supports like halfway through to the next end of the range. But again, I definitely could have kept things tighter. So I won't say that I followed that rule exactly, but I definitely could have done things better. What is the reason to buy? Fundamentals. Some of the stocks were absolutely running on some good news. Fundamentals. Some of them had low floats. I thought volume was going to keep stepping in. Now, rushing or dragging. Ooh, this is a good one to go over. Every single time I was preloading, so I would absolutely consider that rushing into trades without actually waiting for them to kind of set up before me. Most definitely. Rushed into a lot of trades this morning. Then when candles are wiki, trading gets icky. Don't think I got cut with that. Then this is the bigger one that I ended up failing today. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I need to remember this. I need to remember that it's a marathon, not a sprint, because I was just using too big position sizing. Like percentage wise, I think everything was like within reason. I really, really do. Now I did take some like I think I took 3 trades with basically 3 max losses, and that's what ended my day minus $800. But max losses are much better than holding and hoping through a pitfall. But again, those max losses should have been much smaller if I wasn't using too large of a sizing position. Now, in relation and everything, I am heavily red today, but with my account size, it's a pretty big dent, but it's not the end of the world, and I do need to keep that in mind. I just need to focus on following my rules, and we will make it back. I'm not too scared. With the market action that we were seeing, I really just hope that we see some better action into the closing week. It really depends on what Jerome Powell decides. So if he says something very bullish, that would be a great look to finish our week very, very strong. So it's just one day of the week. I'm really hoping that we're able to uh, finish strong for the rest of the week. And cheers to doing that, team. I hope you guys were able to possibly learn something, maybe go over some of these trades. The trades of the day was on MLGO for this breakthrough 309, and I played that one perfectly. Like when the momentum is there behind the trade, like I can land some pretty amazing trades. I just need to really be willing to cut those losses quicker. And if I did that, if I didn't let the idea or the emotion of I'm trading in a cash account and I can't waste my settled funds, it's okay if they're a waste. Okay, it's okay if you make a red trade. You know, it completely is. Just follow your rules. As long as I'm able to follow my rules, and not hold through the support of a downtrend. That's another big issue. Like I did that here, hold through a support of a downtrend. Did that twice here. Like that's another big issue. That's a very very big issue. So something that I'm definitely going to be addressing into the next few days, and we're also going to be sizing down quite substantially. Um, it's probably going to take me a little bit to kind of dig myself out of this $800 hole that I'm in, but I'm looking forward to doing so and sharing that experience with the team. Regardless, this has been the Trading Trail number 16, and I will see you guys tomorrow for number 17. Have a good day, team. Bye.